everybody. It's lovely to see you all today. We welcome you to the Piedmont Unitarian Universalist Church. Piedmont UU sits on the traditional land of the Catawba, the Kiwi, and the Sugary peoples, and we honor them. My name is Cosette Blackmer, and I am serving as the worship assistant for our lay speaker, Teresa Rowell, this morning. I was running around, excuse me. We are a flourishing, vibrant, radically welcoming congregation which promotes diversity, inclusion, and social justice. We provide a safe haven for creative, intellectual growth, spiritual development, and a deep sense of community for all who join us. We hope our liberal religious values will challenge you to join us as a community that lives boldly and acts justly. To all of our visitors and members, we are very glad that you're here with us in person or online, and we hope that we get to see you again. Your presence is truly a gift to us. We have a few announcements this morning. Reverend Amy is away for study leave until this Wednesday the 4th. If you have a pastoral care concern during this time, please contact Joys and Concerns at puuc.org, or for other immediate needs, contact our Board of Trustees at bot@puuc.org. Join UU Ministries for Earth's full moon circle gatherings to ground, recenter, and sustain ourselves for the work of climate justice. There are readings, a short reflection, time for individual contemplation, and sharing in small groups. The virtual gatherings will be held at 8 p.m. on the Sunday evening closest to the full moon, beginning this week, tonight at on March 1st. Please check our weekly announcements and email link for the email link to the meeting. The MECMEN Embroidery Group meets here in the sanctuary at the University Gathering on the first Thursday of each month at 7 p.m. Everybody is welcome, regardless of experience. Excuse me. Building upgrades at the University Gathering. The month of March will be busy at the University Gathering. We will repair the sanctuary roof. Yay! Replacement of the sanctuary HVAC system and replacement of the pavers between the handicap parking and the church. We currently expect this work to occur during normal business hours during the first 3 weeks of March. And at this time, I would like to invite Rhiannon and Micah up for a special announcement.
Thank you very much, Cosette. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Many of you know me, but for those of you who don't, I'm actually here in my work guise today. My name is Rhiannon Nestwick. I'm the development manager at the Alliance Center for Education, and this is my coworker, Mika Turner, community engagement manager. We're here to talk to you about the big read.
I'm fun and fellowship at the job, so I get to go out into the community, speak to everybody, and then bring you back and have fun with you and then send you on your way. So that is what the Big Read is about. We are going to be collecting books as we focus on literacy, as we do every year, but primarily this year, we're really pushing literacy for our littles, is what I call them. So from birth to 8th grade, and we're collecting books in English, Spanish, any genre. We do have an Amazon wish list that you can choose from. The goal is to collect about 500 books. That's the minimum goal. The stretch goal is 1,000 books. And along with that, we'll be able to distribute them at one of our 8 centers. So that brings along the fun and the fellowship part, which is me, volunteerism. So we can separate the books, clean them off, gently used or new is preferable, but we won't deny anyone for, just donating a book in general. Once we have those cleaned off, we will distribute them amongst the 8 centers, and the students will get to read them. The books on the Amazon wish list do follow along with the curriculums that they are learning. However, if you see something that's not on the wish list, or you're out and about and you see a great book, or you have a book that you read as a child you'd love to donate to us, we'll accept those as well.
Now, you may be wondering, what is Alliance Center for Education? Many of you may know Alliance Center for Education as Bethlehem Center of Charlotte. We have been around for 85 years, and right now we're serving about 600 kids?
600 kids, yes.
Really from those very little babies to those 8th graders. So for the big read, as we mentioned, we're gonna have a bookshelf. It's actually currently next to the name tags. We're gonna have a bookshelf there where you can drop off your books. As Mika mentioned, we have an Amazon wish list. We'll be leaving these bookmarks for you to put your names on them and to just drop your books off there. You can buy them from Amazon, but if you prefer to go shop at an independent bookstore, such as Main Street Books Salisbury, or you wanna go to any of the many, many bookstores around Charlotte, as we know, book crawl is coming up and I have a problem. We all know this, let's not lie. You can also buy them from another bookstore and bring them in. A question we got this morning at Salisbury was, will we take audiobooks? Sure, we'll take audiobooks.
We will take audiobooks because those links can be given to our teachers who also have access to laptops, iPads, etc., and their own business phones that they can play those books during nap time or during playtime, etc. So this is, I'm just gonna go ahead and make the executive decision. Yes, we will accept
We will
audiobooks.
take everything. And as you know, Alliance Center for Education's mission is to provide high quality education and support to children in need through partnership with their families. Many of our families, they are at the poverty line, they are working poor, and your support really makes a difference to our families when you do this. So please, we really look forward to seeing some books, and thank you so much for letting us come and speak to you today. Do y'all have any questions? All right. Oh, question.
No.
No. There is no limit, so go wild. We love it. Bring them all. Just bring them. Yes, James.
As you were speaking, it just struck me that it might be most helpful if we donated banned books.
Oh.
I think would perhaps be most helpful and instructive.
We'll take them.
That's just me.
Yes, James has mentioned that he's most interested in donating banned books. He thinks that will be most helpful, so if you have some banned books that you want to bring, go for it. We will have them, so the big read is actually April 1st. The bookshelf will be here from March 1st through April 1st. It will be in the sanctuary on Sundays, and then it will be moved to the meeting house during the week. Yes, Valentine.
I have a bunch in my trunk.
Yes, I will meet you after service to just get a bunch in your trunk. Thank you, Valentine. All right, then.
Fantastic.
All right, well, thank you so very much. We appreciate it, and you can find me after service to ask any more questions.
Thank you, Mika and Rhiannon. For a myriad of other important information about our vibrant community, please see your order of service, or if you are on our email list, check your monthly newsletter and weekly announcements. Whatever brought you to this place at this hour, we welcome you. May you find something that you need, and may you leave richer in spirit than when you arrived.
May we be reminded here of our highest aspirations and inspired to bring our gifts of love and service to the altar of humanity. May we know once again that we are not isolated beings, but connected in mystery and miracle to the universe, to this community, and to each other. Please join me in singing the words to Lighting Our Chalice, the symbol of our faith. Thank you, Ian. I invite you to please rise in body or spirit for our call to worship. Every morning, the world is created. Under the orange sticks of the sun, the heaped ashes of the night turned into leaves again, and fastened themselves to the high branches, and the ponds appear like black cloth, on which are painted islands of summer lilies. If it is your nature to be happy, you will swim away along the soft trails for hours, your imagination alighting everywhere. And if your spirit carries within it the thorn that is heavier than lead, if it's all you can do to keep on trudging, there is still something deep within you, a beast shouting that the earth is exactly what it wanted. Each pond with its blazing lilies is a prayer heard and answered lavishly every morning. Whether or not you have ever dared to be happy, whether or not you have ever dared to pray. Please join us for our opening hymn, number 336, in your gray hymnal, All My Memories of Love. Invite all, young and young at heart, to join Miss Jennifer on the rug for a story for all ages.
Sorry about that, it got caught in my hair. Oh, look at this. We have old friends and we have new friends today. So it's very excited to meet you. Thank you guys for coming and joining me here on the carpet. So last month, we talked about resilience for those of you guys who were here. This month, we have a new topic that we're going to be talking about. This month, we're going to be talking about paying attention. And today, we're going to be focusing on paying attention to the small things and how those small things affect each of us. So I'm going to tell you a story. One story is a fiction story. Actually, I'm going to tell you two stories that are related. One story is a fiction story. Do we know what fiction means? What? It means made up, so it's a story. And one story is a true story, and they're very related. So our fiction story starts on a beach. One day a man is walking along the beach, and he sees a little girl in the distance. And she's picking up starfish because the storm had washed up hundreds of starfish on the beach. And the little girl was going over and picking up a starfish and taking it to the water. And then he watched her again go over, find a starfish. Starship would be a different story. A starfish and taking it to the water. And the man asked the little girl, "What are you doing? There's no way to save all these starfish." And she looks at him, smiles, picks up another starfish, puts it in the water, and said, "Well, it meant a lot to that one." Here's a true story. This happened to me. So last year, I'm at the beach. You guys be at the beach sometimes?
I've been at a beach house.
You've been at a beach house?
Yeah, I've been living there for like 10 or like 5 or 4 days.
5 or 4 days. Well, so you've been to the beach. So I was walking along the beach with my partner, Ben, and all of a sudden, we see a huge school of fish in the water. And all of a sudden, all these fish started getting pushed up onto the beach. It was almost like they were throwing themselves on the beach, as far as I could see to the left and the right.
I want to say a funny thing that happened to me at the beach. So I was in one way. The wave that was so strong made me do some on the water.
Well, that's kind of what was going on with these fish. So the waves were picking them up and throwing them, but it was almost like they were running and beaching themselves. And I was terribly upset, I'll be honest. And I looked out in the water. What do you think was pushing the fish onto the beach?
The waves, but also something like this kind of happened to me. I was at the beach, and lots of waves kept coming up, crashing with lots of jellyfish, and my cousin kept picking them up and putting the hurt ones
It happens.
in the bucket, and we helped them. And then after that, we threw them back into the water.
Well, you're like the little girl with the starfish, and me with the. So what was happening is there was about 3 or 4 sharks out in the water, and they were coming in really close, and all the fish were trying to get onto the beach. I was distraught. I was like, what are we going to do? There's thousands of fish. There was, as far as I could see, one way or the other. And so I just started picking up the ones I could get to and putting them back in the water. And my partner, Ben, looked at me, and he's like, "What are you doing? There's no way you can save all these fish." And just like the little girl, I picked up as many as I could, and I said, "Well, I can save these. I can save this one fish." So what do you think that story tells us about paying attention to the small things and how those small things can affect somebody? What do you think? How do you think the little girl and I felt when I picked up the fish, the one fish, and threw it in the water? Yeah. I felt helpful. Kind. Rose? Oh, go ahead, Jenna. Yeah. Caring.
And being nice to animals in the ocean.
Yeah, it's very important for me to be nice to animals in the ocean. Look, either one of you, go ahead. Rose, do you want to go first?
Last time I saw a big fish in the water.
You saw a big fish in the water? Yeah. Mateo, how do you think I felt when I picked up the fish? Good. I felt all those things. I felt very kind, but I also felt a little overwhelmed because there were hundreds, maybe even thousands of fish, and there was no way that I could tackle all of that. There was no way me alone could save all those fish. Yeah. I scooped up his lot that day. So, have you ever come across a problem that seemed so big that you felt like you couldn't do it all on your own? Yeah. Yeah? Yeah. So sometimes we see stuff at school, and it looks like a really big problem that maybe we don't have the power alone to fix. But maybe, just like the boy, maybe you could have went up and talked to him and asked him if he was okay. And that maybe not fixed the whole problem, but it maybe made him feel a little warm and safer inside. You could have Spider-Man if you could say. Jean, what about you? You said there was problems sometimes that you see that were really big?
So, like, I've been through a lot of things, like how me and my cousin, we saw lots of jellyfish
But you helped a few, didn't you?
Yeah, we tried getting as many as possible.
Yeah.
I do as much as I can to help.
Well, we are going to go back and we are going to talk about the small things and how they can fill our cups. And I'll explain more about what that means. Do you guys want to come back with us in RE today? Yeah? Thank you guys for joining me here on the carpet. Go starfish.
I've never been brave enough to pick up a jellyfish. This is our time of ritual and sacred sharing, a time for sharing our joys and our sorrows, our concerns and milestones, our sadness. First this week, we light a candle for Nathaniel, my friend, on the upcoming 1-year anniversary on the passing of his wife. For Scott's friend Norm, who is back in the hospital with health concerns. For all impacted by ICE raids and activity. For our country, that we might continue to work towards creating a society filled with love, empathy, civil rights, and justice for all people. And for all areas of violence around the world, especially the ongoing war in Ukraine, and for the people of Iran this morning. May we lift up peace, that our world leaders may find the path back to it. At this time, you are welcome to come up and fill out a prayer card, drop a stone into our shared water, or light a candle of your own, of joy or concern. The worship assistant, Cosette, will hand the candle to you if you wish to light one. I invite you as you come forward to walk along the outer aisle next to the wall. And we light a few more candles for those things we hold in our hearts that remain unspoken, and for those of us joining from elsewhere to honor what is in their hearts as well. I now invite you into a time of quiet rest, meditation, and prayer. I have a little surprise. I'm going to invite my friend Keith up to the microphone.
Thank you.
Thank you. Keith joins us from Salisbury. He is a member of our church, and he is a certified mindfulness and meditation teacher. And so we're going to have, I made space in today's service for a bit of an expanded, guided meditation for all of us, because I figure it's always a good time for that. Amen. All right, I'm going to turn it over to you, Keith.
Thank you. Good morning, everybody. I'm very excited to be here. This is our first time at the Charlotte gathering, the university gathering, so it's great to be able to spend this time with y'all. And I'm honored that Teresa invited me here to do a slightly longer meditation than what we normally do, but I promise it won't be too long. So feel free to join me if you would like, but you can also do your own thing if you would like. Anything I say, you can go with it if you feel comfortable and it resonates with you. Otherwise, again, feel free to do the normal kind of quiet meditation that you do anyways. So let's take a moment. You can close your eyes or lower your gaze if that's comfortable for you. Let's take a deep breath together. In and out, and let go of anything we're carrying with us right now. Let's take this moment to arrive here together in this shared space and community. And let's take a moment to notice the support beneath us, the weight of our body resting in our seat, the connection of our feet to the floor, and the stability we find there. And noticing the earth beneath us, supporting us through the floor and through the structure. The solid, stable, present. The earth is always supporting us. And maybe take a moment to get a sense of that in your body and receive the support that our mother offers us beneath us. And from this place of grounding, bring some attention into the body. And starting with the feet, noticing any sensations there, the pressure of the ground, maybe warmth, or even no sensation. We don't need to make anything, search for anything special or change what we feel. Whatever's with us in this moment is enough. And moving up, we invite our awareness to travel up through our body, up through our calves and knees, into our thighs and pelvis, up into our belly and our chest, letting the natural rhythm of our breathing rise and fall. And noticing our heart space for a moment, and taking a moment to smile at our heart, the source of our life and our body, ever present and beating, always with us, our center of love and compassion. And moving into the arms and hands. The hands can be a good starting point for feeling in the body. Notice any sensations that might arise. And moving up to the shoulders and allowing our shoulders to enter into our awareness. And breathing in. And as we breathe out, letting the shoulders fall away from the ears if they're ready. And moving up into the throat and neck and head. Relaxing the jaw. Maybe softening the muscles around the eyes and forehead. Maybe bringing a slight smile to the corners of our mouth or the corners of our eyes. And then noticing the whole body as one field of sensation in conjunction with our breathing. And maybe we'll rest here for a moment and a few breaths. And as we breathe in, I feel the energy in the body. And as I breathe out, I release the tension. And breathing in, I feel my body expanding. And breathing out fully, I release it. And when we're ready, we slowly opening the eyes, keeping our awareness and this quality of presence. And maybe noticing wherever our sight would like to land, shapes and colors, without needing to name or label the light and shadows. And as we go forward from here, maybe keeping a little bit of that quality of awareness in our body and in our breath as we engage with the world around us, helping us to stay grounded and centered in these troubling and trying times. And thank you.
This morning, our wisdom reading is entitled A List of Things I Love by Andrea Gibson. I love. That could be the end of the sentence, but I love sentences. I love words huddled together like strangers trying to survive a frigid night. I love rock sculptures built by windstorms. I love sandcastles crafted inches from the waves. I love the drama of 80s rock ballads. I love grandparents holding hands in rocking chairs on porches of old houses in northern Maine. I love penguins, even though I've never met one. I love how shocked I was when I realized my Superman cape couldn't lift me into the sky. And I love that all these decades later, I can still be that excited and surprised. I love cucumbers straight from the garden. I love old typewriters, even when they don't work. I love imagining that I am a bird who is imagining what it's like to be a human in the dead of winter, wearing an upside-down nest made of yarn atop the head. I love wishing wells and the dreams that fill them. I love coffee shops on Saturday morning. I love the kind kids who've had hard lives. I love the mean kids who haven't yet learned a better way to survive. I love that after chemotherapy, my straight hair grew back in curls. I love the tiny hurt that makes a pearl. I love trying to jump over puddles and failing. I love that cows have best friends. I love that fleeting moment of annoyance while deep in writing a poem, someone interrupts me to come look at the sunset. I love the instant that follows when I recognize that a true poet must abandon every poem to see a pink sky. I love the pink sky and the sound of my grumpy neighbor opening his door at the same time as I do. I love both of us peeling off the husks of our minds to taste the sweetness of the world's truth. I love what I have in common with people, but I love what I have in common with people I have nothing in common with.
Thank you, Cassette. Thank you, Keith. Hello, friends.
Good morning.
Good morning, almost. I realize many of you know me, but many of you don't. So here is a short introduction. My name's Teresa Rowell. I've lived in North Carolina for going on 16 years now. I'm originally from Knoxville, Tennessee. I've been a member of PUUC since 2013 or 14, I can't remember. I'm one of the founding members of the Salisbury gathering, along with my husband and daughter. And I've served our church in many capacities, from musician to religious ed teacher, board member, various committees, and guest speaker. And I am so honored to be back here again this morning on what is promising to be a spectacular day. I mean, yeah. I'm going to talk with you today about how we might transform ourselves, heal ourselves, the world even, by noticing the small stuff. As UU's, our principles call us to honor our interconnectedness as well as personal transformation. So, spoiler alert, there's no small stuff. It's all big stuff. And if we can think of beauty as a whole cloth over every part of our world, then paying attention, noticing things is a way we can mend this cloth when it is frayed and torn. And this sure feels like a time of rending now, right? And how might we do this exactly, you may ask? Well, friends, the theme for this month is paying attention. And I did not know this when I wrote this. So I adore when this type of thing happens, comes together. So I invite you to unclench your jaw, drop your shoulders, breathe easy, settle into your chairs, listen, see, feel. Last August, I read a poem that was about transformation, and it grabbed me. I receive a daily email from the American Academy of Poets. It's called Poem a Day. Each month is curated by a different poet who chooses their monthly theme. It's free, and it's one of the emails I always open in my inbox amongst the many, many e-newsletters I subscribe to. You should check it out. Anyways, this poem was called Sehnsucht by Michael Dumanis. If you were here on February 13th with Reverend Caleb, you heard another German word, Zersetzung, called the dismantling of the soul. This word that I'm talking about, Sehnsucht, means a yearning for something that may or may not occur. And in this poem, Dumanis writes that his daughter said on the eve of her 7th birthday that 6 is her favorite year. And this poem just got me thinking all kinds of ways about how we change and transform as we age, physically, obviously, but emotionally, spiritually, mentally too, and about how this is a common thread in all of our lives, every one of us. We were all babies and children once. I sent Reverend Amy an email last summer saying, hey, I think I got another sermon bubbling up in me after reading this poem. And she wrote back a little while later and said, great, do you think you could fill in on March 1st, 2026? So I said yes. And so much has happened since then, as life will do. So much has happened in our world, in our community, and in my own life since that summer morning. In addition to the seemingly endless storm and thunder of our current government, I lost a dear, deeply loved member of my family just a little over a month ago. And my thoughts have turned from transformation and aging and have headed towards grief, towards how it calls us to let it in, how we want to run from it instead. I have leaned into noticing, into paying attention. And for me, this shows itself as a daily mindfulness practice. Mindfulness, as we experienced just a bit ago during the meditation portion of our service, is a way to sink into the world around us while simultaneously grounding ourselves. My earliest practice with this was several years ago when I would go outside each day and try my hardest to notice the beauty around me. I would use my index finger to trace the whorls in the wood on my deck railing, to feel how rough it was under my finger, to see any patterns. I would take my shoes off and feel the ground under my feet. I would notice the different shades of green on the azalea bushes near me and hear beautiful little songbirds. When I see them now, sparrows and finches, thrushes and chickadees, I think of how these small creatures are all over our world and how so many people are also listening to them, watching them, especially if you may have a certain app on your phone, as I do. But even if you don't use Merlin or another one of those apps, for me, seeing these beautiful birds is a direct connection to our planet, to our home. I find comfort in this, knowing I'm appreciating something that so many other members of our human family are too. And when I hear a certain type of little sparrow, I am with my grandpa Elmer B. My grandpa Elmer, my mom's dad, used to be able to mimic a couple songbirds. In particular, he could whistle the call of a little white-throated sparrow, and sometimes one would land on his outstretched palm. And for us children, it was magic. It sounded like this. Okay. I did it. I have a 50-50 chance of it just being dry. I was a young child when this memory of him whistling down a sparrow was formed, and it came rushing back the first time I identified this specific call during one of my earliest backyard noticing sessions. He died at the end of a long and good life in 2006, and I chose not to attend his funeral. At the time, this was a logical decision. My daughter was very young, my husband was out of town, and the service was 4 states away. My family assured me that it was okay that I stayed home. Truthfully, though, I had always felt a sadness that I did not show up for him in this way. He was a devout Catholic his whole life, attended the church that he grew up in Lansing, Michigan, and rituals like these were very much important to him. Hearing these sparrows, though, I started thinking of him and started letting my sadness, even after all these years, come to the surface and transform into something else. Francis Weller, the psychotherapist, advocates forming what he calls a companionship with grief. He says by doing so, we can deepen our relationship with our loved ones who are gone. And now when I hear this little bird, I sometimes say, "Hello, Grandpa." And I have long since healed from missing his funeral. When my mom died almost 2.5 years ago, I earnestly searched for her amongst my daily noticings, and eventually a tufted titmouse, the little songbird, presented herself to me. I'm not going to attempt any more whistling. I was not expecting a bird. I also find her in my garden and in any good arboretum, as she was an avid grower of beautiful flowers, and in art, since she was a fiber artist. I am with her when the leaves turn brilliant shades of red, and when I bite into a slice of good baguette, preferably with chocolate Neuchâtel cheese on top, as she preferred it. And now in this newest period of fresh grief, I think of my loved one around me when I engage in my mindfulness practice. Does it erase my pain? No. Does it honor the love we shared? Oh, most wonderfully, yes. Yes, it does. I am able to go to this place of deep memory and feel it all, which has been so healing. This is how noticing beauty, paying attention to our world, can transform you, can help heal you. This is how the small stuff I mentioned at the beginning is simultaneously the big stuff. Now, I am not saying in any way, shape, or form that adopting a bird watching habit, installing an app on your phone, or taking your shoes off every morning to stand in the grass will resolve all of our world's ills, will heal all of the pain in our world. We live in a time when our beloved siblings are being abducted off the street, of mass deportations, of climate degradation, of lies peddled as truth, of cruelty towards the weakest among us sold as spectacle, when our Black, brown, and indigenous siblings are not safe? No. What I am saying is that beauty is as a whole cloth over all our world, and it is a cloth woven of joy and of goodness and laughter and peace and countless small, wondrous things. And all action we undertake to weave the torn places in our world back together are never in vain. Never. Anything we do to transform our pain into something we can bear so we can keep going, is in service of the greater good of this cloth. For those of us engaged in good trouble, this repairing can feed our souls. For those of us doing all we can just to get up every day and stay safe, falling into beauty, however we might find it, is a profound act of healing, of living. So I've told you about my daily mindfulness practice, and especially my favorite form of it. And earlier in the service, you experienced a guided meditation. Hopefully I've made my case to you that the small stuff is the big stuff. And while I delight in bird listening and watching, and I hope you give it a try, there are many, many, many other ways for you to engage with the beauty of our home. And whatever you choose, you will always be a part of our interconnected web, our beloved whole cloth. So my charge to you today is find what helps you weave these fraying threads of our world back together. May it be so, and blessed be.
Thank you, Anne. Lovely. Every week, we lift up the spiritual value of generosity by taking an offering for the ministries of this church. Our plate then, as it passes among us, becomes filled with the evidence of this generosity. It is our harvest gathered in every week for what most nourishes us. This month, we are sharing our offering plate with Blueprint North Carolina. With their partners, Blueprint North Carolina works towards inclusive and anti-racial democracy rooted in civic engagement through movement building and mobilization. In a moment, our host will pass the offering baskets. We ask that you pass the basket down the row as you receive it. You may place your gift in the baskets this morning as they make their way around the room, and you are always welcome to give online at puuc.org or by texting PUUC at the number 73256. This morning's offering will now gratefully be received.
we thank you for the gifts contained in within these baskets, and we thank you for all the gifts you offer this beloved community. Now let us rise in body or spirit for our closing hymn. It's in our teal hymnal, number 1031, Filled with Loving Kindness. Before we extinguish our chalice, I offer thanks for all the many volunteers who helped make our worship service possible today. We also ask before you leave to please place your hymnals back on the cart near the piano. Thank you. Let us take a moment to give thanks, either in our hearts or with words, for the things in life for which we are thankful today. I'm thankful for our guest speaker, Teresa. Thank you.
I'm thankful for the little robins who got here before the spring.
Thankful for the little robins who got here before the spring.
Thankful for Keith guiding us in meditation.
Yes, thankful for Keith guiding us in that lovely meditation.
For the life of Reverend Jesse Jackson.
Amen.
For the life of Reverend Jesse Jackson. Yes. Now hear these words from Laurelyn Bellamy. If here you have found freedom, take it with you into the world. If you have found comfort, go and share it with others. If you have found dreams, help one another that they may come true. If you have known love, give some back to a bruised and hurting world. Go in peace. And while we may extinguish the light of this chalice, never forget it is but a reminder of the light that is inside us all. So for our closing hymn, we traditionally make a circle and we hold hands, or you may hold your hands over your heart.